Welcome to this explainer. Today, we are jumping straight into the absolute engine of the global economy, the stock exchange. It's really this incredible aggregator of human psychology and capital. Whether you're just skimming the financial news over coffee or actively managing your retirement accounts, the market is constantly humming in the background. Well, today, we're bringing it front and center.
Here's our roadmap for today. We'll start with what a stock exchange actually is, then look at its core roles and features. After that, we'll walk through a beginner investor's guide and wrap things up with a look at modern digital trading platforms.
All right, Section 1. What exactly is a stock exchange? It's a phrase we hear literally all the time, right? The market's up, the market's down, heavy trading. But what is it really once you strip away all that intimidating Wall Street jargon? What is actually happening behind all those ticking red and green numbers?
Let's reframe this a bit. At its core, an exchange is really just a highly secure, organized, and totally transparent digital supermarket for company ownership. Think of it as the ultimate central hub of the capital market. It's this strictly regulated environment where buyers and sellers meet up, usually through a broker or an app, to trade securities like shares and bonds. And honestly, that regulation, that is the absolute key. It creates this massive level of trust because every single transaction has to play by some very strict rules.
And this setup, it creates the ultimate win-win scenario in finance. On one hand, you have the companies. Without these markets, it would be almost impossible for them to find the cash they need to grow, hire people, or build new products. On the other hand, you have everyday investors who are looking to create wealth. The exchange is just the bridge between the two. The companies get the money to fund their big ideas, and you get to build your wealth by owning a tiny slice of that future growth. It keeps capital moving efficiently and ultimately drives the whole economy forward.
Moving right along to Section 2, Core Roles and Features.
Because, let's face it, the financial world would be total chaos without rules. Just imagine trying to negotiate the price of an apple at the grocery store checkout while, 100 people are shouting behind you. Pure chaos. The exchange stops that by enforcing some essential features. It gives us an organized platform so every trade is logged perfectly. It enforces strict rules for fair practice, making sure everything is transparent. But maybe the coolest part is price discovery. Thanks to the exchange, you know exactly what a stock is worth down to the millisecond.
So, the big takeaway here is that the market is alive. It's always moving. Prices aren't just made up by some shadowy committee in a back room. They're adjusting automatically, tick by tick, based entirely on supply and demand. If a company is just crushing its earnings and everyone wants in, demand spikes, and boom, the price goes up. It's this continuous, dynamic dance that offers investors endless opportunities to react.
All right, on to Section 3. Let's look at the beginner investor's guide.
Getting started used to feel like this huge, daunting thing reserved strictly for Wall Street insiders. But not anymore. Since everything is electronic now, you can literally trade from your couch anywhere in the world in 3 easy steps. First up, you just open an account with a brokerage. Second, you use that platform to keep an eye on those dynamic market prices we just talked about. And third, you pull the trigger. You buy shares to become a part owner, and you sell them when the price moves in your favor. Of course, the market is way more than just traditional stocks these days. If you're looking to dive into digital assets, like crypto, education is absolutely your best friend. There's some fantastic reading out there to get your head in the game. Stuff like Cryptocurrency Trading, a beginner guide, and the basics of bitcoins and blockchains are great for stripping away the mystery of the tech. You've got the Bitcoin Standard if you want to explore decentralized banking. And, maybe the least glamorous, but definitely the most important, books on crypto taxes and regulations are going to save you massive headaches by keeping you totally legally compliant.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 4, Modern Digital Trading Platforms.
The landscape of brokers right now is just incredible. It really lets you pinpoint the exact platform that fits your specific vibe and strategy. Like if you're leaning into those digital assets we just covered, a platform like Binance gives you massive liquidity and tons of coins. Or if you're hunting for ultra-low spreads and super fast execution, Icy Markets is right there. AvaTrade is famously great for beginners because of its built-in risk management, while places like RoboForex or Exness are awesome if you want to mix up your assets and get really quick withdrawals. Basically, whatever your game plan is, there's a specialized tool ready for you.
So, we've seen how these highly organized marketplaces connect capital with innovation to literally fuel the global economy. We've demystified price discovery, and we've seen just how easy it is to get started with modern trading apps. The markets are alive, they're constantly shifting, creating new opportunities every single second of the day. So, the only real question left is, now that you've got the map, what's the very first asset you're going to claim as your own?
Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll catch you next time.